caameñ gëj gis ye
jigéen sama yow moom gëj naa laa gis yow bii rafet na bii kañ la nii rap ak jàmm waay mbaa incho nga ko kay
may ma suma jaama yow insurance dañuy fay
déedéet Gambia National Insurance Company ca kere baabe ñu bokkuñ ci ñooñu de
ñooy ñaan lu
weesu fanweeri at ak juróom-ñaar ñu ngi ci biir réew mi di ñu aar suñu wàllu moto yi kër yi yoon yi tukki yi sa xaalis sax dañ koy aar
déedéet xanaa
waaw ñu wóor lañ nag te mun seen liggéey seen teewaay ci biir réew mi yokk na fi kóolute de
loolu de neex naa dégg
gis nga bi ci gën a tee neex nag ñoo gaaw a fay yàqu-yàqu dañuy fay yàqu-yàqu ci num gaawee boo eboo daal dawal dem insho yi
kon xaaral ma dem fagaru
defal gaaw moo gën faju
jërëjëf suma caam
jërëjëf bii moom da nga ko war a insho waay rap ak jàmm waay
Gambia National Insurance Company seet si leen ñu tey pour seen bépp wàllu insurance.
Welcome back. Voters in Egypt are waiting the results of the country's first round of parliamentary elections since the revolution that toppled President Hosni Mubarak. As CNN's Jim Clancy report, one big surprise in this election is the huge turnout, particularly among supporters of the hardline Islamist camp.
A record number of voters cast ballots this week at the polls in Egypt, while the strength of some radical Muslim religious candidates stunned those watching the results. The first round of voting showed 8.5 million Egyptians cast ballots Monday and Tuesday. While exact polling numbers were to be released on the internet, the Muslim Brotherhood held a clear lead with more hardline Salafi religious parties and the liberals following. While some worried the outcome could lead to an Islamic state, others were more concerned about good governance.
What I'm afraid here in Egypt that they're gonna involve the religion with the rules, with the government, and this it will be the disaster for Egypt.
We're Egyptian. We're all Muslims. I don't care if he's a Muslim, a Christian, or even a Greek. I just want him to go straight and honest, or we'll push him out.
In Tahrir Square, demonstrators claimed credit for making the election a success. They also paid tribute to the more than 40 demonstrators killed in recent clashes with security forces by carrying coffins through the square and parading images of those who lost their lives. 14 factions camped out in Tahrir Square announced they were pulling out of the protest that began in the heart of the city 10 months ago. Some were planning to shift the focus to a sit-in outside cabinet offices, demanding the military give up control of the transition. Many other factions will remain in Tahrir. For many young people, there was a sense of accomplishment.
We now have freedom of expression. For 30 years, we've been forgotten. We were called a simple generation, the internet generation. No one cared about us or addressed our concerns. This was our chance to go down in the streets and for society to know that we are here. We are many, and we have a strong impact regardless of anyone who is in power.
As detailed results are released, attention may shift to questions about new political alliances and the new direction of the elected government. There's a lot more voting ahead, leading to a presidential election in mid-2012. But the turnout made this a historic beginning.
Egyptians who watched the election results come in live seem to take it all in stride. They were proud of the way the country had carried this one off. In the words of one election official, we haven't seen turnout like this since the time of the pharaohs. Jim Clancy, CNN, Cairo.
Iranian diplomats are back in Tehran after being expelled from Britain. Iran state media reports the 25 embassy staff were met at the airport by a huge crowd of students. British officials ordered the expulsion following an attack on the UK embassy in Tehran by protesters. Let's look at this report for more on the homecoming and the tension between Britain and Iran.
Well, actually, the students didn't get to meet with the Iranian diplomat returning from England. Only the Iranian chargé came and visited with the students and took some pictures with them. The rest of them were whisked away by the foreign ministry. There were dozens of Iranian students carrying placards, anti-British, anti-American, anti-Zionist slogans on it. For the first time today, an influential religious leader, Ayatollah Shirazi, issued a statement advising the students that from now on if they have demonstrations, that they should make sure that they do not break the law and trample on the rules and regulations of international law, which is very interesting. Basically, the Foreign Ministry spokesman went to welcome the 25 returning diplomats and their families, and the whole thing was over by about 4 a.m. local time on Saturday.
Well, so these Iranian diplomats were expelled from Britain. So, Shahzad, how do you characterize, what are the diplomatic relations right now between the UK and Iran?
The relations between Iran and United Kingdom right now are at the lowest possible that the political situation allows. They don't even have charges at each other's embassies. They have local employees, Iranian employees at the British embassy here, and British employees at the Iranian embassy in London. And apparently I was told that only the affairs to do with the Iranian citizens would be dealt with over there, and with British citizens over here. So no visas, no consular affairs will be taken care of so far.
We now take our second break. Before we go, a recap once again of our headline-making stories. The American Chamber of Commerce has launched a campaign designed to encourage young people to deepen their interest in entrepreneurship. A 5-day review of the performance of the education sector by movers and shakers in that domain and representatives of donor agencies has come to a close. State media in Iran has reported the arrival of 25 Iranian diplomats expelled by British authorities after students ransacked the British embassy in Tehran. And results from Egypt's first round of parliamentary elections have started trickling in, but the huge participation of sympathizers of hardline Islamists has observers guessing what's next. You can follow that story and other GRTS programs live on our website at www.grts.gm. There you can also monitor GRTS Radio Live. That brings us to the end of this edition of the news. Thanks for keeping us company, and do enjoy the rest of our interesting programs.
GRTS Digital FM on 98.6 and 102.6, the best FM station in town, where you can capture hundreds and thousands of potential customers with a wider coverage around the country. Advertise today and get your targeted customers. For more information, call 9933263, 9957255, or 4497331 and 9906445. GRTS Digital FM.
The Technology Show. Science and technology has impacted all spheres of human endeavor over the past several millennia. Today, with the giant leaps that have been made in areas such as communication, power, medicine, and food technology, the world has virtually shrunken to look more and more like a village community. There is increased competition for the world's resources as populations have exploded exponentially. Science and its application, technology, are the tools that humanity has at its disposal to do just this. Technologies that generate power, such as thermal, solar, wind,